Alright, welcome back to Myth Machine channel, where we're doing a Delta Green campaign now. This is at the very start, so for those of you who have never played Delta Green, look away. No, you should in fact look this way, because this is like the coolest cosmic horror game you can find. Yes, I'm saying that it's cooler than Call of Cthulhu, and you will find out why. Of course, I like to do the slow burn, so it's gonna take a few episodes before the horrors and the sanity loss and the screaming and all that stuff, I think. I'm what you might call the Robert Jordan of Game Masters, and I like taking my time torturing the characters. So there. This show is rated R because I think we're rated R because it's cosmic horror, right? Am I right, folks? Is this R?
Think so.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah. What else would it be? Like, I gotta have some bloody murder and horrible tentacles and other things that go wrong, and insanity and madness and all that good stuff. That is not good for the characters, but still. Don't forget to follow the channel, press the buttons, do all the algorithm god things. Okay, who is with me today? Please introduce yourself and the character.
I'll start. I'm Truth-Tale. I'll be playing Sebastian Redmond, a recent graduate from the FBI Academy at Quantico who's been employed in the Witness Protection Division of the FBI.
Indeed, he is a very young fellow who is always going to regret his career choice in 10 years from now. Why did this happen to me? My very first assignment. He doesn't know that yet, so good for him.
The regret will be setting in soon.
What was that?
The regret will be setting in soon.
Yes, it will be. Okay, next person.
I'll go. I'm Darian. I'm playing Brian Benson, an occult scholar turned federal agent, following in his family's footsteps, working for the FBI Criminal Investigation Division.
Indeed. Here we go. Look at how pretty he is. He's been around a little bit longer, but these two guys together at the FBI are definitely the guys with the weird fashion choice, because nobody's wearing fedoras anymore, and maybe some people are. Okay. But the flat cap is distinct.
Black caps are always in style. They're always in style. You were just wrong.
I mean,
I wear one in my current job.
You know what? I wear one on the regular when I go out too. I in fact alternate between fedora and flat cap. In terms of just personal passions, I agree. I'm just saying that in 1991 there might be some eyebrows raised. Anyway, who wants to be next? Shall we go with Alex Blair?
Sure. I don't know what to call myself. I guess Briar, and I'll be playing Alex Blair, or Dr. Blair, who is a medical doctor in her mid-30s. Their mid-30s.
Yeah. And there she is. She's apparently the oldest of the group so far. But, yeah, I'll get to that in a moment. And that leaves only one person left.
I'm Carol. I'll be playing Bridget, Deluca, computer scientist who may or may not have joined the FBI because her childhood friend accused her of being in the mob because her dad's Italian.
The best motivation.
Logical reasons to choose your career path.
Very strong reasons. Yeah.
Choose your entire career to prove somebody wrong.
I think this is a valid reason, and it's not psychologically questionable at all.
Not at all.
I bet that half the grad students who are striving for a PhD are doing just that. He said, not self-reflecting at all. Yeah. A few things here. We are now in the year 1991, which is a long time from the present day, which is 2024. So cast your minds back to the historical era before the 2000s. I remember this historical era, but I understand that some people are too young to remember. I'm a very old man. I was, in fact, in high school at the time. See, that's how old I am. I just dated myself. All the I'm old memes apply to me. Okay. In this day and era, in this age, these young professionals, or middle-aged in the case of Dr. Blair, have not yet met each other. And, because I wanted to do the premise this way, they have also not met anything scary. Maybe something scary, but not something cosmic horror, unnatural horrible.
Excuse me, I have an Italian or an Irish mother. I've met something scary.
Fair. So that's why I clarified that cosmic horrors, monsters, things that should not be, they have not been met yet. Because I like to run my Delta Green campaigns like that Delta Green as an organization, which you will find out about eventually, either players or audience, do not just recruit people willy-nilly. The first thing that happens is that they get a report about a person or a group of people who have experienced something weird. Then they will test that group, and if that group is tested and they are passing the exam, as it were, then they get recruited. You will get recruited to Delta Green eventually. We all know that much because that's why we're all here. But it might not happen this session. It might not even happen this case file. Just be patient. I'm preparing things. In this particular case, it is March 14th, apparently. And you are going to be summoned to a boardroom. I don't know that you know that just yet. Let's back it up here to the morning of. Because in Delta Green, we do like to anchor things in what our protagonists' everyday life. Because it makes the horrors they encounter out in the world that much worse. So let's see what happens here. We have Dr. Alex Blair, who is waking up in the morning in her apartment or house. You are, after all, a medical doctor, so you're earning good money, right?
Yeah, I assume she has a small house, not really wanting anything big, just thing cozy.
A cozy house in the outskirts of... This is the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area, and Quantico is over there, and D.C. is over there, and you can live within half an hour, however long you want to spend commuting, and so on. What might a typical morning for Dr. Blair look like when she wakes up? The alarm goes off, beep, beep, and she has no idea how this day will change her life forever.
Yeah. She's just getting ready, picking out clothing for today, washing up, making a quick and small breakfast, and then just, I don't know, maybe checking the newspaper, seeing if anything interesting is going on.
Let me tell you that on, let's see now, we have 1991 U.S. history. Let's see what happened. We have March. Oh, look at that. Apparently, the United States Department of Justice announces that Exxon has agreed to pay $1 billion for the cleanup of the Exxon Valdez oil spill in Alaska. This is fairly new on the news. Yeah, that's the thing. There might be a phone ringing in the house, I'm thinking, in the morning.
She probably groans and then heads to the phone. Picks it up.
Hi, Alex. It's your mom, of course. She likes to check up on you once or twice a week, obviously.
Of course. Hello, Mother.
How are you this morning?
Oh, it's the same as always. What about you?
Did you see in the news? They're finally gonna make those oil companies pay for polluting the environment. I like that.
Oh, yes. That's just amazing. Finally.
The conversation will probably go back and forth over trivialities a little bit as you're chatting with your mom until, as always, she will... Anything happening in your life other than that? How was your latest date?
Alex is silent for a moment, trying to come up with something. It didn't exactly work out. He seemed only interested in money the moment he heard my job.
You have to settle for something sooner or later. It's time. The clock is ticking.
I know, Mother. I'm looking again. She's just lying.
This is why you have persuade skill, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, where is it? I guess I'm rolling it.
No, you don't have to if you don't want to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd rather not. I'm not
Yeah.
taking my chances.
Yeah. Dr. Blair might be looking at the clock, hoping that it's time to go to the office now. Sorry, Mom, I gotta
very
go.
much.
And out the door, she has a nice car, doesn't she? Because
Yeah.
medical doctor.
Very much.
It's a Japanese car, right? It's 1991. It's gotta be a Japanese car.
Yeah.
There we have it. Yeah. Toyota Camry? I don't know.
I don't know cars, so I wouldn't know.
I don't know cars either. Then, in a different part of town, how is Mr. Fenton living?
Mr. Fenton's got a townhouse in Eastern Market, DC.
Hmm.
He's splitting it with his longtime friend Laura at the moment.
Friend. Only just
Yeah.
friend. Yes.
At this moment, they are, yes.
Well, how long have you been
The-
roommates?
We've been roommates, we've been dating, we've been not dating, we've been dating again. It's gone back and forth.
Yeah.
He'll get up in the morning, get dressed, clean up a little bit of the stubble on his face, just trim out that goatee a bit,
Yeah.
go make some toast, just the toast and butter, listen to the news while he eats it, check his suit for any fur from Laura's cat, which keeps sneaking into his room despite his protest.
Yeah, Laura will just go, there's coffee going. She's lost in a book again. And on the kitchen table, there is in fact some objects lying on a piece of paper, like a piece of a paper towel. Don't touch
Mhm.
that, she says.
Carefully not touching that as I get the bread from behind it.
The pieces are a couple of flint objects and possibly an arrowhead. Who knows? That is a bit rusty. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll kind of look at them. What are these? As I'm munching away on my toast.
Oh, just some artifacts that I'm doing some work on for it's. Oh, she is a PhD. I'm preparing it for my students this year. Another
Is she a
class. She's a PhD. She's on a tenure track now because she
Oh, yeah.
graduated last year. So now she
Very
has
good.
students, and yeah, I'm gonna have them date these things. It's for their midterms.
I'll just say, munching, nodding along.
I just don't like how I would copy them. Yeah. I like to have like nice photos and scan those, but the department doesn't have the money for a good machine for that, and I'll just have to make do with black and white fuzzy things. I'll just blame the students if they get it wrong, she says and smiles.
No, it's certainly better than what we had to work with back in class.
Yep. That's for sure. You won't believe this, but I have my own desktop computer now that I write my articles on. It's so much better than a typewriter.
I'd imagine. I was thinking of getting one myself.
Don't you have one already at the bureau? Oh, they're skimping
No,
on that, are they?
personal one for home.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, that could be a useful thing. Maybe I need one too, so I can bring a floppy disk with my articles here and right here. Huh. I like this idea.
I'm telling you, these computers, they're getting better and better each year.
I wouldn't know anything about that. She says, being an archaeologist and an academic who knows absolutely nothing about computers. Incidentally, she won't know anything about computers in 30 years either, so there's that.
Not with times, gotcha.
I know my academic colleagues. Only in the computer science department do they know anything about computers.
Well,
Ooh,
I will,
academic slab.
I'll finish up my toast, make sure that my tie is straight, run the roller over me again, and head out to catch the train.
Very good. Meanwhile, in Bridget Deluca's house, what is your house looking like, Deluca?
Oh, she is absolutely still living in her parents' house with
Hmm.
all of her siblings because she's too busy working to bother getting her own place.
I'm thinking at least half of the siblings have moved out already. You got Tommy, the oldest, who is probably already like a cop in the DC police force, DCPD. Yep, that works.
Metropolitan Police.
Or is this family from DC? Are we from? I don't know. Where are we from, Deluca? What American city?
They are in DC now.
Now, okay. They didn't move because of Deluca, because of Bridget, did they?
No, they actually moved because of her sister.
Oh, okay. Oh, is her sister a politician of some kind? Like an aide to a member of Congress or something?
Something like that.
DC is all about politics, of course. It's all maybe she's part of a lobby organization and needs to be in DC for that. Lobbying for the Red Cross or I don't know. A big company.
She's doing something noble, sure.
No, well, okay, very well, yeah. So
At least that's what she says.
that's what she says, and everybody else don't understand anything because I don't know how highly educated are mom and dad.
Questionable.
Questionable. Okay, high school degrees then. They have trouble keeping up with all these youngsters who all are getting university degrees in different things. But they are proud that they all put you through university, so that's a thing.
And the siblings have moved out, but they're still always here for some reason.
Oh, so it's an
Might
absolute...
have something to do with the food, but...
It very much might have. Mom is cooking up the best breakfast every morning. And I think it's a big house, not because everybody lives here, but because everybody stays here all the time and comes
Basically.
here. Yeah. And there's going to be an absolutely sordid mess of Italian, Gaelic, and English spoken by the breakfast table. It's a cacophony in Deluca's ears.
It's terrifying.
Yes, I can tell that. You still actually live in the house, don't you? Because you don't have your own place. And Mommy Erin will give you the stinky eye and go, have you found your own place yet? Look at your brother and your sister. They've already found their own places. You need to find your own place.
Oh, but Mom, you make it so comfortable here. Why would I bother?
You do know how to put the words, don't you? But
You'd be so sad if I left you.
is she calling you Bri or Bridget? Bri, you have to be your own woman. Very soon you're gonna get married and I'm gonna have grandkids. This household is obviously a good Catholic household. So I have a feeling, because it's Italian and Irish, that Deluca will have this even worse than Blair.
Oh yeah, there are already several children running around here.
Oh yeah.
It's unclear who they belong to.
Nieces and nephews galore. You barely have time to catch the news. How long would you have been with the feds by now? Maybe a year? Probably not more. You had to get your degree in computer science first, and then the training to be with the feds, and then, yeah, maybe a year or so. Young person, this one is. You don't want to be late for your work now, Bri. I think...
Did you pack me a lunch?
Of course. It's right. It's in the freezer. Yeah, it's in the fridge. And she will correct your necktie. and your hair. Put it behind the ears properly. There, now you're presentable. And she rolls her eyes a little bit that she has to do it all the time. All right.
Thank you.
Go along now, sweetie. Go along. Sebastian Redwood probably doesn't have such a noisy household, does he?
No, he lives alone over in Arlington.
Very well. Is it like a studio apartment? He's only 25, and he only just started working with the feds.
He's in one of the poor districts, so I guess as poor as you can get in Arlington. But yeah.
Oh, is he renting?
Yeah, he's very much renting right now.
Okay, he's renting. Oh, I can see it now. It's like an attic apartment where he has one skylight.
He lives right above a Chinese shop, yes.
Oh, that's great. So every morning, the Chinese shop, if it's was it a restaurant or a shop?
It's a restaurant, yeah.
Then his mornings are nice and calm because they don't open until 10-ish.
Mm-hmm.
But his evenings, noisy until usually around midnight or 11, something like that.
He's been living there probably about a couple months now. He's made friends with the owners downstairs.
That makes sense. I wonder if they have started with karaoke yet, because in that case, your ears are gonna bleed by 1 a.m.
He has begun to develop a hatred for My Way.
that makes sense, which is tragic because he's a big Sinatra fan, isn't he?
Very much.
Yeah. Can you play anything else? Sebastian Redwood plays My Kind of Town, Chicago is, instead. Just as a general protest.
He has, in fact, taken to playing the most stereotypical DC music whenever he passes by the machine.
What is the most stereotypical DC music?
Whatever is the most political faction at the moment.
I have no idea. Let's see now.
I shouldn't say that. Literally, let me phrase that. He'll just basically put on random. He'll pass by the machine when someone's trying to pick it and just reach out and smack a choice before heading upstairs. Literally, he'll put anything on that's not My Way.
That makes sense. Unlike everybody else here, let's see now. Does he have anyone who cares for him in any meaningful way? Who might pester him a little bit on his way out? Would he have a chat with Dad over his breakfast, or is that not right yet for this week?
He might give his dad a call. If anything, to talk to him, talk to his little sister.
That makes sense. I'm gonna say it's actually the 13th today because that is a day that was actually a Friday. So, see, you're almost at the weekend, folks. Woohoo!
Woo!
Yay.
You just have to get through this day, and then it's a weekend. I'm sure it's gonna be smooth. Then you're just gonna shuffle some papers, and then it'll be fine.
Nothing bad's gonna happen today.
Nothing bad is gonna happen today. So, are we having a chat with Josh then?
Yes.
All right. Well,
You'll
Josh,
head over to pick up the landline, give him the good old dad a call.
Yeah. He's gonna pick up on the other side because is he retired by now? I think he's retired, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he's in his last years. He'll
He's in the
retire
last
probably
years,
about
okay,
97.
Yeah, that's true. He'll be picking up. Yeah, Redwood residents.
Hey, Dad, how's things going over there?
Hello there, Sab. How are you doing? How's the big city treating you, son?
It's a bit different from home, but it's doing all right. Renting right now from these lovely couple downstairs, some Chinamen.
Huh. Oh, are they into laundry or restaurants?
It's a restaurant. They keep me fed at least. They're good folk, Dad.
Well, that sounds good. Yeah, he will use all the stereotypes because he lives in very small town.
Also, Southern town, yeah.
That generation. That sounds good, son. Yeah, I think they could, as long as they have a. But every once in a while, you get yourself a burger. You hear?
Of course, there's a nice little shop a few streets over. The
That's
folks at
good.
the office like to go out now and then.
Yeah, some good old solid American food every once in a while. I'm not the one not appreciate some good Chinese, you understand? But man's gotta have variety too, right?
I get you, Pa. How's Sally doing over there? School still treating her well?
Good enough. We lost another couple of students at the start of the term. Their parents are moving out. Tough times down here.
That's gotta be hard on her. She ain't got many friends nowadays, huh?
No, she ain't got many friends, that's for sure. But, I mean, I keep telling her, one step in front of the other, and soon she'll be following in her brother's footsteps, and then it'll be alright. Gotta get
Come on.
herself in proper education, and then she'll be fine. I don't think she should be working in no factory over here.
You know her, Dad. She's already planned to take over the library when she's old enough.
Exactly.
Been doing the training over there.
Now, we don't have much of a library here, so I imagine that I'll have to spend a lot of my golden years traveling to wherever you lot are.
DC ain't the worst place out here. If you can handle politics, it's a good place to retire.
You will hear an intense gargly sound from his throat, because he obviously hates the politicians.
Yes, I know, Dad. I know how you feel. But get out here into Arlington. It's not as bad.
Oh, is your grandfather laid to rest at Arlington? Question mark.
Yes.
Okay then. Then at least I can go and say hello to Pa.
Yeah. I've been paying my respects every weekend, making sure his stone's still good and all that.
I appreciate that, son.
He'd quickly look down at his watch to check the time.
Yeah, it's getting on. It's time.
Time's running out, Dad. I gotta head out to the office. I'll call you tonight, alright?
For sure. Now, you take care, son. And
Will do.
Whatever else you do, you make sure you get home alive, you hear?
Always. Give Sally my love, alright?
I sure will. Oh,
And-
here she
and
comes now. Yeah, it's your big brother. He's heading out to do some work. He gives you his love. You hear Sally screaming, I love you too!
He'd give a quick chuckle and say just a very small love you back, and before hanging up the phone.
And it's just a normal day in the life of... None of you knew that your lives would be so upended this day, would you? Did you?
No, never.
I don't know how the work day starts in Quantico for most of you all here. It's going to be a fairly normal day at the start. You're in your offices, you're doing your things. I'm thinking Blair is probably helping out with various autopsy reports, perhaps? Or other such work. You could do lab work to do toxicology screenings using your pharmacy skills, and so on. We could have Fenton wrapping up a case. What is the case you're wrapping up, Fenton?
I don't know, probably just some serial killer guy.
Final report. Do you have a computer yet, or do you have I think you have a typewriter still. I think this is like... FBI hasn't really bought into the whole computers thing yet. There's one computer on the floor.
He's wrapping up. We got a serial killer, some guy that was been hearing voices in his head telling him to kills, being commanded by Jesus to do it, in fact. Not right in his head.
That is new, but that could be a thing.
Could be.
Yeah. It's 1991, so there's a whole lot of work around you. At least in the intelligence community there is. It's not really gonna be the FBI's biggest thing, but you will definitely through the grapevine hear about how the CIA and other agencies are working to mobilize assets and resources to deal with the Gulf War in Iraq, basically. Because that's where we're at in the world right now. So those are some rumors coming through the hallways, as it were. Deluca, I think you're a bit frustrated by the fact that the FBI is very conservative when it comes to computers. Most of the stuff is just run on typewriters. And
Listen, I've found several forms, and I think if I fill these out correctly, I can trick somebody into getting me a computer.
you do have to use one, don't you, as the computer scientist and forensic computer scientist, as it were. Yeah. At this point,
It's just-
agents are still recording reports on audio cassette for later transcription. And most of the forms are typed or handwritten, and you use carbon paper to create copies, right? Have
Yes.
any of you used carbon paper before, young people?
Every day.
Yeah. Most digital files are stored on 3.5-inch discs, of course. So you're not going to have a personal computer at your desk because the director believes that those would tie agents to your desks and prevent you from going out and doing aggressive investigative use. So 14 FBI agents share a single computer. There's, of course, a printer, which is a dot matrix. It is very loud, it's very bulky, and is using perforated paper. And yeah, you guys don't, aside from Deluca, I don't think any of the others have email addresses for internal messaging and such.
Sebastian may have one purely because he also is a graduate with a degree in computer engineering and just set one up just for in case.
You have to get authorization for it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because the director is a bit paranoid about that. But you can use
You
your
work in the government. You have to learn how to fill out the right paperwork.
Exactly.
Amazing what paperwork can get you.
But you can use a private email service. AOL, of course, very popular. It includes chat rooms and forums.
Definitely has an AOL account.
Exactly. Yeah. There are very few official bureau computers that actually provide internet access. You have to go to a special one which has internet access. Otherwise, everything is saved on 3.5-inch floppy disks at this point. But I'm going to say that Deluca has access to the internet, and the internet being the forensics, computer forensics person. And she's probably constantly complaining about just how slow the net is here, because it's slow. It's even more sluggish than some connections that you can have at home. Government work, my friends. It's great.
I'll find a form. It'll fix it.
Yes, that is exactly what you're going to do, isn't it?
Paperwork fixes everything.
Forms
Of
fix
course.
everything. It's gonna be just after lunch when all of you are called into a conference room. Yeah. Finally. You're called
Oh,
into a conference room. Your special agent in charge has called you in here. Agent Johnson. Not that Johnson, the other one.
Johnson.
I made a Die Hard joke because it's December. No? Didn't work.
Christmas movie time.
Didn't work. Didn't work at all. Sad.
I haven't seen Die Hard in years.
This agent has your supervisor. All right, folks, thanks for coming in. I have great news for you. I'm sure you're looking forward to getting out of your office for a little while and go and do some field work, right? Looks towards Redmond, who hasn't done any field work yet.
Always eager, sir.
looks toward Fenton.
I was muted. Yep, that nods.
Not sure he's even looking towards Deluca and Blair. We have a potential, it's definitely a murder situation, but that's not why we have been called in. We've called in because it's a potential kidnapping. Some missing persons. This is deep down south in Mississippi. And the locals, I just got it like a few hours ago. He looks at his clock here. I just got the request a few hours ago on my desk. It's fairly urgent. And you're it, because let's face it, I don't have anyone else right now. What with the John Gotti case wrapping up. Yeah, this is the year when John Gotti is prosecuted. This is the big mob boss in New York. Anyway, all I know for now is that we have 2 homicides in a house. They were servants to the house owners. The house owners are missing. The locals have apparently no idea and are fumbling in the dark because they don't get this kind of thing. So they wanted support, investigative support. You're it. I would say that they are not going to have a good pathologist down there. I think, Dr. Blair, that your expertise will be highly valued. And let's see if some of these new technologies can be put to the test, Deluca. He says, clearly doubting it. But yeah, the house owners are missing. So they are presumed kidnapped at the moment by the local PD. Maybe we should not exclude them as possible murder suspects, but the local PD has flagged this as a kidnapping. So that's why you're going in. We have tickets for you. You're flying out later today. And there's not much of a briefing for you, unfortunately, but I'm sure the local sheriff will bring you up to speed when you get there. So I guess dress for lots of rain, bring your rubber boots, because you're gonna be in the bayous basically.
Wonderful.
Aside from the bayou, it sounds like it'll be just like home.
Possibly. Maybe a bit hotter than you might be used to. Because this is going to be down in the Gulf now. So, let's go back to our operations map, shall we? Because we have one of these. So, this operation will take place in a small place called Davies Landing, Mississippi. Davies Landing, of course, has a population of several hundred, for those of you who care about doing a little bit of research on this place. Its main business is tourism, and this is not the season for it. They bring tourists to the river and the marshlands to do fishing and maybe hunt some crocodiles, perhaps? That's basically it. Otherwise, it's an unremarkable place in the Deep South. Which means that we're gonna go from DC to New Orleans, of course, right? By air, because that's the quickest way you can get there. And that should take about 3 hours or so. If the tickets are for you to go at, say, 4 p.m. and it's now 1 p.m., you have 3 hours to pack everything and go. And your supervisory agent in charge will simply say, I'll leave you to get to know each other a bit and make your preparations, and you'll call me from Davies Landing when you arrive and keep me updated, right?
Of course, sir.
You got it.
Of course.
All right. Yeah. Are there portable computers in 1991? The answer is yes.
There's the Apple II, I think.
In 1991.
Or
Let's see.
no, that's the big one. Apple Micro computer.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Which Apple computer was the one that fit in a briefcase?
Yeah, it's basically it's a briefcase. Yes, it's the size of a. Is it the PowerBook 100 from Apple? That might be the one. Yeah.
It was an Apple product. I know that much.
Yeah. Yeah, there's an Apple Macintosh PowerBook as well, which looks very dope because it folds up half of the top because the rest has to be the computer. It's very old and clunky, and everything is, of course, monochrome, black and green screen. Yeah. So
Okay,
that's
yes.
the only type of computer support you can get, Deluca. Yay. All of you will have your standard field kit, of course, which includes your badge, surprisingly, a forensic evidence kit. I'm going to put that on Alex Blair for some reason. I'm not sure why I'm doing that.
Okay.
Handcuffs. And the typical... What was the typical gun of the era? Was it the 6R P22?
It was... You had two choices. 91 was the last year they issued a revolver. And they also had the Smith & Wesson 10mm, but they quickly went back to the SIG P226 when it proved to be unreliable.
I have a P220 and a P228 here.
Or might be that one.
Yeah.
1991 FBI gun. Yeah, you had the Smith & Wesson Model 13 revolver in 357 and the Glock 20. As well as the SIG P228. And that was in 93, no.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, you had the Model 13 revolver and the Smith & Wesson 1076.
Okay. Which one do you want, you guys?
I'll take a Model 13.
I'll take the 1076.
Good old 357.
All right, 357 for Mr. Redmond. 1076 for Fenton. And Mr. Redmond gets we said the Model 13.
Yes.
Very good. And of course, you're all going to have your badges. You're not going to get Kevlar vests right away. That's not how it works. Very sad, but true. I think you're all going to have a forensic evidence kit with you. I'm going to give Dr. Blair a field lab kit on top of everything else because she's the only one who has pharmacy and such.
Probably.
So some handcuffs. I don't know why the handcuff is listed as a weapon. That makes no sense.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're definitely hard enough to be used as them.
But not that much punch, I'm gonna say.
You'd be
Anything
surprised.
can be a weapon if you are creative enough.
You can also hook
yeah.
someone with them. Trust me, they hurt.
Are we bringing a portable computer? I'm saying that Bridget Deluca is bringing a portable computer, obviously.
Absolutely, I am. Listen, the
My-
moment they put one in my vicinity, and I'm never giving it.
And you're bringing a modem too, just because you can.
Am I supposed to have two guns?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay, I would delete this other one that I see here then.
Yeah, that's
Boy,
fine.
gee, Deluca, why do you have such a big bag? It's just full of computer parts.
Yep. Basically.
Everything needed to have an internet connection to the computer and nothing else.
Exactly.
Who needs food? I have a computer.
You can also use a computer to bash someone in the head. It's heavy enough. Breaks the computer, but you can.
Now,
I
see,
would
this is
never.
91. Those things are heavy enough and durable enough to commit murder with.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's hard to get the brain matter out of the little crevices.
I
That did
help
not
off
take a
out.
dark turn at all. All right.
Welcome to Delta Green.
Other than that, we're packing clothes for a stay.
Yeah.
Redmond has 3 different suits he's packing.
Obviously, you might be away for several weeks. You don't know how long this case might take. If everybody's busy getting all this stuff done separately, then I guess you will only actually get a chance to sit down and get to know each other properly once you get to the airport lounge.
Question. Can I, in the couple hours we have to prepare for this, is there a form I can fill out? Somebody I can talk to bump my seat up to first class?
I don't think there's
Listen,
any
I
amount
gave
of paperwork
myself
we can
7
fill out to have them
Listen, I
shill out
gave
more
myself
money.
70 bureaucracy for a reason.
Oh, no,
You
I understand.
did.
Listen, I can use that bureaucracy at the airport. They don't have to know.
They will see the slip. You have to keep all your slips and everything. They will see your slip. They are not nice when it comes to the slips. I'm telling you. Let's have a
Hey,
look
there
here.
are things you can do to get the airport to bump you out without having to pay for it.
Uh-huh. Okay. That feels like an extraordinarily interesting role to make, let's say. Yeah.
You're gonna poison a child, aren't you?
Oh no.
I'll have your old bureaucracy at a -40 then. How about that?
Oh.
Mm.
Is that a success? No, wait. At a -40. Yes, it is a success. Just by 1. Okay, then. I guess you'll get away with it.
Oh,
Oh my god.
so much for getting to know our computer specialist.
Uh,
Can't
has-
nerd talk
We're
with a
sitting
fellow
there
nerd.
waiting to get onto the plane, and I just look away and start talking to one of the stewardesses, and then you see me again when we land.
Oh my.
While you're all waiting for the plane, are we talking to each other at all here, or are we just staring at
Absolutely.
each other listlessly?
Redmond's actually turning to each one and being weird about it. He's crossing his hands over each other, like extending a handshake to both Blair and Finn. Pleasure to meet both of you. Sebastian Redmond at your service.
Benson will lower his book, grab your hand, and go, Brian Benson, nice to meet you. And then go back to reading his book.
Blair just gives you an odd look before hesitantly shaking your hand. Dr. Blair, I suppose it's nice to meet you.
You know what? I'll take it, lady.
We're so warm to each other here.
You're the new guy, yeah?
Yeah. Just got out of Quantico a few months ago.
Yeah. How you liking it so far?
I wish my first field task actually dealt with the division I was in, but you know what? I'll take it.
Which division are you with?
I'm with Witness Protection.
Oh, okay. Wonder what they got you doing out here. Maybe just trying to get you some experience.
Could be also, as the boss told us, that he has no one else. Could be just dragging in anyone he can.
Ah. What's his name again? Johnson?
Yeah, sorry. Senior Agent Johnson.
Exactly. It's important. Rank, damn it.
Yeah, Johnson likes to talk to new kids about where he can either. Anyways.
It'll all work out, I'm sure.
No, I won't worry about it at all. So is this your first field case then?
Yeah, this will be it. They've had me mostly doing record keeping at the moment, going over old cases.
You have any other investigative experience prior?
Nothing outside of the kids being kids and wandering things we shouldn't have been.
Fair enough.
What about you? What do you bring? Where are you from?
A little town called Arkham, up in northern Massachusetts.
Oh, nice. From North Carolina myself.
North Carolina. I can't say I've been.
You might enjoy it. Maybe not the town I'm from, but yeah, it's got nice weather when it's not pouring.
I actually happen to like the rain, believe it or not.
So do I, but I don't know why. Most people don't seem to like it.
Beats the snow, that's for sure.
Oh lord, no, I could never. Sebastian's gaze would slowly just tilt over to Blair. What about you, Doc?
I'm just from Manhattan, back up in New York.
Manhattan, you a Yank then, aren't you?
Suppose I am.
I'll say it's a pleasure to meet you.
You too.
Brian will just giggle to himself about her being accused of being a Yank while he's from Massachusetts.
Inwardly, Sebastian is having just debating all the ways he could just poke fun at both of them.
He definitely can. You're surrounded by Yanks.
As apparently the only Southern of the group, with that thought, he actually perks up. Weren't there 4 of us at the office?
I believe the other one wandered off.
We should probably go find her, shouldn't we?
If Hester will kind of go, yeah, where is Deluca? The plane should be taking off before too long.
Sebastian's gonna go wander off to try and find one of the airport staff.
Yeah, eventually they will direct you to Deluca, and you'll find her in the VIP lounge.
Agent Deluca, what the hell are you doing here? We're
She
over
looks
in
up
second
from where
class.
she looks up from where she's sipping a drink, like, hey, shush, go away. Listen, I cannot get 2 of us into first class. It will not work.
Are you sipping martinis over here?
You can't prove that.
His eyes just narrow, followed by, "You lucky. Don't believe in being a mean person. I'm keeping my eye on you, though."
Hey, if you're cool about it, I might be able to work something out the way home.
He'll take a moment, head shifting back and forth, clear debating. You know what? I like you. You got yourself a deal. Before promptly about facing and walking away like he had no idea who she was.
Good boy.
He may be raised polite, but he knows a good deal when he gets one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a boring 3 hours on the flight. Now, of course, you are switching time zone as well to Central Time. So when you land, it's not actually gonna be 7, it's gonna be 6. Isn't that nice?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, but you're gonna land in New Orleans, of course, and over there, I guess the first thing for you guys to do is to head to the head office to check out some cars, because you will get company cars. You can have 1 or 2. I guess you can have 2. Why not? You might have to arrest someone and put them in the backseat. Having 2 cars for a team of 4 seems to be reasonable to me. Of course, you have to fill out the right forms, sign for them, and all that sort of thing. Is there anything else you want to check out from the office in New Orleans? Because by the time when you drive out of New Orleans, you're basically on your own until you get to. You can rely on the services and good faith of the locals in Davies Landing, but other than that, yeah, not much.
Do
So-
we have one or two of those giant brick mobile phones in case we need to stay in contact with each other and we get separated into two groups?
You can, but you cannot count on having any coverage at all out there because it's the bayous.
Gotcha.
Satellite
And radios, would we
phones
have
are not a
radios?
thing yet. Radios, absolutely, yes. They will connect from one car to another. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I'm thinking here too about things like if you want to bring a shotgun, this is a good time to do it. Or
Ooh.
two.
Shotgun.
Sebastian actually is going to be talking to the quartermaster of the department here.
Yeah.
And so what kind of firearms could they spare for a team of 4?
Well, a couple of shotguns.
All right, that sounds good enough to me, sir.
Yeah, let's see
How
now. The shotguns of this time of the world would be Remington 870.
Jeez.
Yep. Who wants the shotguns? We'll put one in every car, obviously. 'Cause that's standard.
We can just put them in the cars until we need them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
They got. I want to pick up some ponchos and stuff while we're there. Some FBI ponchos.
Yeah, that makes sense. The risk
You know.
of rain is overwhelming because that's the season.
Sebastian laughs at your poncho and raises you the trench coat.
Oh, there we
I already
go.
thought-
That was fighting words.
I look down at the trench coat I'm also wearing and go, I want to keep it looking nice. When you're soaked and need to replace that thing, then we'll talk.
You know, maybe you need to replace yours because it's of lower quality.
Yeah, you have any idea what the marsh does to any kind of clothing?
It ruins things, but you know what? That poncho ain't gonna save your coat from the marsh. It's still
really?
gonna get soaked.
I'll leave the coat inside the car then.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
A shake of his head, but a distinct smile on Sebastian's lips.
Um,
You do that, friend.
Yeah, I will. And I'll make sure to give you a poncho after you lose a coat or two. That's it for wink.
Oh, I'll appreciate it then. Sebastian's gonna actually head out to the cars to start loading them up with the gear.
Very well. Yeah.
Do,
Probably have a bite to eat before you head out as well, seeing as it's when you land at 6, by the time you're done at the office it's 7. Stomachs are probably growling at this point, which means that by the time either are we going takeaway to gain some time here, or are we having a quick snack at a restaurant somewhere and then heading out? It's gonna be a 3-hour drive, something like that.
What time is it now?
7.
Probably just something quick so we can get in and get some rest.
Drive through.
Yeah.
Drive through. That's what we need here.
See,
It's
is
lovely
Popeyes
to
around
be
yet?
traveling for 6 or 7 hours to get here, isn't it?
When did
Oh,
Popeyes open? 1972. Let's get some Louisiana Popeyes.
sounds good to me. Yeah. I don't know if any of your characters have been to New Orleans and know about the local things.
I might have been to New Orleans before for some kind of study project, given its history with the voodoo and stuff like that.
Fair. You'll have your smoked sausage. Andouille, it's called. I don't know. I don't think that Americans pronounce it that way. Andouille, maybe?
Anduin.
Yeah. All
World
sorts of
Warcraft.
boiled seafood, obviously. Callus, Bodin, dirty rice, jambalaya, gumbo, obviously. There's gumbo everywhere. Shrimp creole, turtle soup. Or just grab a slice of pizza and go. That is also a possibility. It's the metropolitan area.
He may not have been, but Sebastian has heard about the goodness of Louisiana gumbo and jambalaya. Guys, this is a rare opportunity we got. We got a time to sample some of the local dishes. I suggest jambalaya.
All right, Chip, lead the way.
approve.
Very well. Jambalaya.
Might as well.
It's a dish of rice and meat. I had no idea. Often combined with andouille sausage, chicken, and shrimp, cooked with vegetables and Creole spices, which is going to be spicy, of course. Yeah, it's also fairly easy food to get down your gullet quickly, as it happens. So that's nice. Now we're getting into hot temperature here, aren't we? Probably not that hot, to be honest. It's winter, machine! Anyway. 3 hours in 2 cars. Who is sitting in whose car? That's what I want to know.
Sebastian is calling drivers for the front car.
That makes sense.
I am calling shotgun for either car.
So who's gonna drive the other one?
Is that a thing you're gonna make us roll?
No, I'm just curious. In case there is an incident and you end up run into a monster or something and the drive skill is important. Who knows? Wait, did I say that out loud?
Oh no.
I've
no.
been in a game with
The-
you with
the
cars
elusive
before.
swamp goose.
It didn't go well.
The only person with good driving skills here is, in fact, Sebastian Redmond.
Why
Everybody
is
else
no one else driving?
Everybody else can get from point A to point B without hitting a tree. But if anything bad happens, you're on your own. Like,
I'm the only one who actually took those optional classes on aggressive driving.
yes,
Who
you are.
drives in DC?
How to drive in DC? Well,
To be
I mean,
fair,
you-
Redmond drives a Lincoln Mark 6, the largest fucking car in existence.
to be fair, Fenton should have taken a lot of driving skill because he came from, well, close enough to Boston, and the driving there is a nightmare. So
I know how to drive. That doesn't mean I like to drive or I'm good at it.
apparently not. Apparently
He doesn't-
Blair is driving and
Okay.
Redmond is driving. Here we go. I just rolled a die. That's
There we
I
go.
choose to
Coincidentally.
believe we did rock, paper, scissors over it.
That is plausible. I think so. I choose to believe this too. Yes.
The nerds ended up in the same car. Nice.
Yep.
The-
If maybe our friend Blair isn't a nerd. Who knows? Could be that.
What are we saying? She's a doctor. Of course she's a nerd.
Right?
Yeah, technically.
I would think so.
Yeah.
What would you
Yes,
I-
but what flavor of nerd?
I am not a
Medical.
nerd. I say I am not a nerd. I say as I go into reading the 4th book of the Necroscope series.
Right. This is not nerdy behavior. It's research, damn it.
We're gonna be in this car for 3 hours. Yeah.
Yep.
I get into the passenger seat and you're not entirely certain where I pull it out from, but there's yarn. There are needles. I am knitting.
This makes sense to me. Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a long 3-hour drive into the boonies. You're crossing the state border. You're driving into rural Mississippi. Where are all my crickets? I need crickets, dang it! There's crickets here.
You may have no crickets.
What? That's just rude.
I eat them all.
Oh no.
What? Where did the crickets go? I know I have a cricket sound effect somewhere. Somewhere I have it, but I can't find it right now. Very sad.
Me with the cricket-shaped bulge in my mouth. Mm.
Anyway, yeah. You're gonna drive through the many small roads that we'll find. This pathfinding here is done by phone book, yellow pages, maps. Yeah, paper maps spread out in the car. Yeah, we're supposed to take this road next. Hopefully not missing on the navigation. Oh, that's an interesting question, isn't it?
Oh,
Will we
Oh.
mess up the navigation on the way?
Oh,
I'm glad I put
no.
some skill points into that.
Because it's dark and
We
you've
did
never
the-
been around here. I'll give
We
you a
have the
plus
public art
20
in front
for
of
having
us.
a map. Who wants to roll navigation?
Who has the highest?
I'm driving, so I can't.
This is true. Though you might want to
yeah.
switch
You're
drivers.
We're not
Driver
pulling it.
halfway.
We're not pulling a Simpsons here.
So it's gonna be Fenton and Deluca who are
Oh no.
navigating.
Think about it like
Alright.
this: you definitely have a higher score than mine. I only have 10.
Mm-hmm. That.
Do we need
Yep.
You have a plus
If by
20.
higher, you mean the same.
I see.
You have a plus 20. Let's see. So to get a plus 20, you basically just right click on the skill in question and then you can add a plus 20 to the roll.
Oh.
Yeah. I'll even allow both of you to roll because I'm kind-hearted that way. Yeah. What? Mr.
Ooh.
Fenton is amazing and Bridget
Oh,
Deluca
no.
is terrible, but that's not bad because that gives you a check mark in Navigate.
It's
so-
a real shame. We're the lead car.
Oh, I was on the radio a couple of times going,
You're
you
going
gotta,
the
you
wrong
gotta make
way.
that turn coming up, right?
That's the wrong way.
Listen, I was knitting. I wasn't paying attention.
I think it's pretty obvious over the course of time we're gonna end up being the lead car.
Yep.
Yeah.
Blair and Fenton becomes the lead car, and Deluca will have learned something about now. So in this game, unlike in Call of Cthulhu, you get a check mark in the skill when you fail, and then you level it up at the end of the op, of course, at the end of the case file. It's a long drive to this little place called Davies Landing, isn't it? And yeah, it's misty. It's wet because there's continuous rain, basically. Just dripping. When it's not rain, it's just dripping. And you will see the buildings coming out of the fog as you're getting to this place, finally. You've been traveling now for about 10 hours, just about. Slightly less, perhaps, but still, it's tiring.
Do we have hotel arrangements already?
Not that you know of.
Oh no.
The word
Hmm.
is talk to the local sheriff.
No.
Do we know where the local sheriff's office is?
Supposedly in the center of Davies Landing. Yeah.
Do we know where the center of Davies Landing is?
Sebastian's gonna stop his car, and the moment he sees a local on the sidewalk, he's just gonna pull up beside him
Yeah.
and just roll down Deluca's side.
Hmm.
Hey, proceeded by leaning over her current knitting project. Hey, friend, you wouldn't happen to know where the sheriff's office is, would you?
Sure do. And then there will be some words that are very quick in Creole and Cajun, which you may or may not pick up, but he's gesticulating along the road, and then you just head up to, and yeah, so you will get some kind of description to the town center.
Alright, appreciate it, friend. You have a fine day. Rolling
And
up
to
the
you,
window
sir.
very quickly.
Yeah, he's touching his hat as you're leaving, and is obviously looking after these very weird vehicles who are clearly strangers, like the two sore thumbs driving down the road, because I don't think you brought pickup trucks, did you?
Let's see what they use in 91.
It will be sedans, standard.
No, they gave us the Crown Victoria, the Chevy Caprice, and the Jeep Cherokee, apparently.
Yeah, two of those.
A nice
Not
Crown
each.
Vic, hell yeah.
Yeah.
We can take a Jeep and a Crown Vic.
Unless we did take the surveillance. Did we take the Ford Econoline surveillance?
I
Is that
don't
what we did?
think so. No, that seems doubtful to me.
I think we can take a Crown Vic and a Jeep Cherokee
Hell
in
yeah.
case we have to go off-roading.
Yeah, it is misty. Not necessarily cold if you're a Yankee, with temperatures around the 60s. For those of you who count in weird Fahrenheit degrees, and 15 Celsius for those of us who use that. So ignore what my weather generator is saying. Okay, let me do it like that instead. Nope, that didn't work. It's winter generator. Okay, whatever.
Fucking windy.
So
Yeah, but it's winter, but we're down south too.
yeah, winter here is not like winter in the north. No snow around here. Absolutely not. This is just drizzly, and people are actually wearing jackets and stuff because this is the cold and chilly season.
Anyways, Sebastian's gonna hop on the radio and actually relay to the other car, I guess the Jeep. Oh yeah, locals said this way to the town center. About.
Yeah.
They spoke with things I didn't understand, so there we go.
The road, which is the State 145, not interstate, obviously, it's just a local highway, has one lane going there and one lane going out. We'll bring you into Davies Landing, which is you would just by looking around at the houses, your guess is residents between 500 and 1,000, possibly. There's oh look, there's a quick stop over there. You see the local Methodist church. There's another church as well. You can't have too few churches, right? There's a grill, and there's a city hall, which is amazingly big.
Is it even Louisiana if each town doesn't have at least 3 different churches of different denominations?
Probably not, no.
As well as the local witch doctor?
Yeah. It's late when you're pulling up to the city hall, where the police station is, and you can see there are a couple of like flatbed trucks with police markings on, saying like Davies Landing Sheriff's Office or such like.
Gentlemen, it looks like this is about our place. Don't it, Deluca?
Yep.
So park in this very nice issued Crown Vic. He's just gonna step outside very quickly. Alright everybody, let's get to work.
And
Indeed.
step out, stretching his legs.
Yeah, oh yeah, your legs
Yeah.
need some stretching. It's been a drive, hasn't it?
I never mentioned I hate car rides.
And, yeah. Knuckling the lower back. But you're not 50 yet, any of these characters, so your back problems are ahead of you.
The knee problems will soon begin.
Yes, when you cross into the 30s and whatnot, absolutely.
5 more years.
Yes.
5 blissful years before it begins.
As you come in there's going to be a couple of deputy officers, of course. Let's all have a human roll immediately because I like it.
Oh,
Of course.
I got this. I got you all.
So do I just click on the human?
I love these dice. Do make
Excellent.
them so glowy. The glowiest dice, we like that.
Thank you.
Okay, so
No,
we have...
We all failed.
that's a check mark.
Yeah, so Sebastian Redmond fails, which feels a bit weird. He's probably just tired, right?
Very tired.
Yeah. Fenton fails. Blair fails as well. And Bridget Luna has a critical failure here. This is fun. Or not so
Anxiety.
fun. You have the option of picking a fumble, because in this game, when you fumble, there is an effect on you or the rest of the world. You can pick one or roll on a fumble table. What do you want to do here? The fumble table should be available to you. Yep, if you go to the rollable tables, there's a fumble table. Or you can just pick one.
Are you kidding? I get to roll for something random? Yes.
Of course you do. Yes. Okay. You are very confused. I'm gonna give you a piece of incorrect information then, which you already know is incorrect. Okay.
You love to see it.
been a long day, guys. We had the
There
plane
we go.
ride, we had the drive here.
I
Yeah.
sent you a whisper
Oh, you're
there in
fine
the
about
foundry
that.
chat.
Plane ride was delightful.
It's actually an hour later for us than it seems.
Yep, for you it's like past midnight now, but it's not the worst thing you've ever done. You're still young, you're energetic, you're below 40, all of you. This is prime of life, right?
Prime of life, but jet lag don't care.
Just an hour worth of jet lag, that's nothing. Yeah, one of the deputies will look up at all these people who are driving not a flatbed truck and come in business suits and look a bit confused. And then it probably dawns on them. Oh, howdy. You must be the feds, right?
That way.
Benton will show his credentials. Go. That's right. Special Agent Benson. This is Special Agent Redmond, Special Agent Deluca, and Special Agent Blair.
Ah, I never met a special agent before. I'm Deputy Dodge. Happy to meet you. I'll just call Chief Morgan. He'll be right over. All right? Just put your effects. We've been waiting for you. We've set you up with a bed and breakfast and everything. You'll be well taken care of here. I can promise you that.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it,
Mighty
Dodge.
kind of y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna just signal to someone else. There's two deputies there, and someone gets on the horn and calls Chief Morgan. Yeah, he'll be here in about 15 minutes. Can I grab you some coffee while you wait?
I'm all right, thank you.
You sure?
No, not in thanks. Sebastian's actually gonna reach into his coat and fumble around. It's like, I forgot my smokes. One of y'all mind offering me a light?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't suppose you folks have a bathroom anywhere nearby.
Absolutely, sir. Just right down the hall to the left.
Appreciate it. No, I'll walk off to the bathroom.
Yep. And yeah, he's gonna look a bit like he doesn't really know what to do with his arms and his legs, and just nod and look very serious. And there's no smiling going on right now here. But yeah, after about a 15-minute awkwardness,
Luca's just staring at him.
Yep.
I'm just gonna lean over to the Briar and be like, didn't people get murdered? Why are these people so relaxed?
I don't know. I honestly don't.
How quiet are you two being?
She's whispering.
Okay.
She's like,
Weirdos, right? Weirdos. All of them are just weirdos.
Sebastian just just a little bit away. He's currently enjoying the nice death stick between his lips.
No doubt, yes. It's not gonna take that long before you see another pickup truck with the sheriff's markings pull up to the station, and out comes a fellow who looks, I should say, into his middle years? Shall we say, late middle years, even. He has a very defensible mustache, obviously, and all the muscle tissue he used to have when he was 20 has now settled firmly around his waistline, and he's gonna be waddling up here. And, howdy. Welcome to Davies Landing, ladies and gentlemen. I hope my humble abode can offer you some, whatever resources we have are at your disposal, is what I mean to say. This is not exactly what I was expecting before retirement. I have a couple years left to get under my belt, but we don't get this kind of thing out here. We're good, God-fearing Christians, all of us. And yeah, this sort of thing doesn't happen in our community, you understand?
We understand, sir. No one expects this sort of thing. No one wants this sort of thing.
Now, let me get you to the conference room. I suppose you want to get up to speed on this as quickly as possible. Does he have a
Thank
conference room? It's probably just a corner of his sheriff's office. That's what it is. It's not really
One
a
somewhere in
conference
Town Hall.
room.
It's just the break room.
Yeah, it's basically a break room, and he's gonna tell them all, like his deputies, to bring him some coffee and to bring in the files and the photos, whatever they might have. All right, ladies and gentlemen, his hat on a hanger, and just you will notice that he has a big bald. He has the longest forehead ever, basically. There's a nice crown of hair around his baldness, and he's gonna bring out a cigar and light it. Smoke him if you got him. It's 1991. People poison themselves all the time.
Sebastian's going to look longingly at the cigar, but before taking this now snub of his cigarette and putting it out in an ashtray.
What we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is a double murder of two respected members of the community, I might say. And I don't know exactly what to say about this thing here. They said we don't get murder of this kind.
And what kind is that, Chief? Or Sheriff, sorry, Sheriff.
Brutal and senseless, I might always say.
Now, Sheriff, if I may, real quick. Our handler back at DC informed us that y'all had this listed as a kidnap, and have y'all since updated it?
No, we have not. I want to think it is a kidnapping, you see. So let me begin at the beginning. For Redmond, it's really obvious that this man has not handled anything like this ever. You're the one with human 80s. By the time now that you've started settling down and be able to start concentrating on these people, and the car is getting out of your system a little bit, and you're indoors, and I might be late, but it's still a place where you can not feel the smell of gasoline. And yeah, you're starting to come more to terms, and the shock inside Chief Morgan's eyes are just absolutely there. His whole demeanor is man in shock who doesn't know what to do next. Fidgeting with his hands and tying, straightening his necktie once more, even though it really doesn't need to be straightened. All right, this place is called Davies Landing because back in the day, it was founded by the Davies family. Now, it's no longer the case that the Davies family are the mayors of this town. They became recluses over time, him and his daughter. But so the mayor now is Mayor LaFontaine, and I'm sure he'll join us any moment here because he's very keen on keeping track of what's going on here. But suffice to say is that the Davies family is a highly respected member of community, even though he and his daughter hasn't exactly been going to church as often as they used to. They are still respected people and God-fearing, we're sure. What we found was their poor servants, their manservant and their cook, Raymond and Adele Brown. They were found serrated in the house, and there's no trace of Mr. Davis or Miss Davis. We can only assume that, given the violence present at the scene, that some kind of stranger bashed their way in and for some reason have kidnapped Mr. and Miss Davis. Strange as it may sound. I know he had some business with out-of-towners, and there is in fact an out-of-towner here in town right now, Yankee, by the name of Mr. Corso. And he's apparently a book dealer and he had business with the Davies. And he found them together with his landlady. He's having a bread and breakfast here. We don't have too many strangers coming at this time of year. It's not tourist season yet. But he went with Miss Lorene, and he was going to do business with Mr. and Miss Davis. And that's when they found the Browns. And yeah, they immediately contacted us, of course, and because it was a grisly scene. And I'm telling you, I ain't never seen anything worse in my entire life. It was brutal. We've taken some pictures, of course, because we couldn't not take some pictures. Here we go. They've been developed and everything. And he's going to hand you out some pictures. they've been taken on regular Polaroid cameras with semi-functioning flash-ish. It's not
Right.
very impressive, the work.
My eye twitches a little bit.
No doubt. But it is enough to be grisly, and I think that will be interesting for Fenton at the very least, because I want you all to roll a sanity check against probably violence here, yeah?
Oh, come on.
Oof.
Blair!
Guys, I'm so
Oh
sane.
no.
How
That's
do
8
I
over.
do that?
Oh,
Yep, it is.
How do I roll a sanity check?
You
Sanity.
go to your character sheet and you click on the word SAN on top there. There's a couple of dice next to it.
Oh, I
indicating
see
it's
it.
a
Thank
roll
you.
button. There you have it. It's a success. Okay, the only one, weirdly enough, to get a bit green around the gills is the doctor. Because it is truly grisly.
I suppose she's just too tired to handle it right now.
Apparently.
After all the
2
driving
points,
and, yeah.
2 points lost. And because you didn't go insane, this is a check mark against your adapted to violence tracker. So if you lose sanity without going insane from the source's violence or helplessness, and you do that 3 times, you will adapt to it, which means that you get the 1,000-yard stare and bad things happen. You will lose some other things, but after that, you will always succeed with your rolls against those 2 sources of that's something.
Okay, then.
But at this stage, Blair is gonna look a bit green around the gills because yes, it is. There's blood everywhere. The pictures from the crime scene depict a regular living room with blood literally everywhere. These 2 people, 2 African American people in their middle to late years, 40s maybe. Hard to tell from the pictures exactly. But they have been opened, for lack of a better word. Their torsos have been opened. And there's just innards are just outside the body. For the man, it's just scattered over the ground. The woman lies close to a set of stairs, and there's just as much blood there, but her internal organs have been put in a nice little pyramid of, like, first the intestines on the ground, and then, should we say, some kind of sculpture of liver and kidneys on top, like a cherry on top, and copious amounts of blood. Like, all the blood that should be on the inside of the body is just out on the floor.
So it looks like her organs were intentionally stacked.
Oh, very much, yes.
Hey, I don't know if you know this. You're not supposed to take those out.
Does that trigger any knowledge of any kind of cults or anything I may have heard of or ritual practices?
Why don't we get ourselves an occult check? Not off the top of your head, really. No.
What kind of sick person does this to a person?
That's what I would like to know. I'll show you the crime scene. If you want to see it tonight, that's fine by me. We can. This is I think a bit of an emergency. We don't know where the Davies are. One of their cars is missing. It seems to me that someone took them and drove away. But we really don't have the resources to investigate this type of, well, Satanism, for lack of a better word.
Was there signs of forced entry?
Oh, absolutely, yes. The front door is fine, but the back door, the French doors in the back, just smashed. Absolutely smashed.
No note or any kind of information left behind?
No, sir.
Based off the pictures, Is there any indication of these doors were smashed open and then murder happened right there? Or does it appear
That's my working theory, would Chief Morgan say. You can look at the pictures from the door, but it's not the same as looking at things in situ, right? So, and the quality of these pictures are not really the best, to be honest. I'm not even gonna let you do a forensics check based on the pictures, because...
Just a quick thing. Of the photo, you said it was like it has a smashed-in door in it?
Yep.
Can we tell from the photo if there's what side of the door the glass is on?
You can. Yeah, that will be on the inside.
Okay.
Yeah, quite an impressive library, I have to say, the Davies, and there might be some clues in there as well. I can't make heads and tails out of that sort of thing. I'm not really I read the good book, you understand, but these kinds of books, they're not the type of thing that I would understand much about. I suppose you city folks might know this stuff better.
Was there any evidence that the perpetrators went further into the house? Like, past the murder site?
I think they might have. I think they might have been in the library. There was some mud drug in through the door in the back, and I do believe there's some mud as well in the library. But
Footprint?
Yeah, of a sort, perhaps. But I think the scene has been a bit contaminated by
Animals and drugs. And
Yes,
muddy
I think they might have been. They must have been attracted by the smell of blood. Honestly, Crocs coming in and having a bite, because there were some such claw marks and such.
We appreciate the information so far.
I fear that the crime scene has been somewhat contaminated, I'm afraid. But yeah, we're doing our best out here with what we got.
Did
Do
we
what you
have
can
a
with what you have.
estimated time of death?
Yes, of course, yes. They died in the middle of the night, so this would have been a couple of days ago now. The moment Scott was really Miss Lorene who called in. They even called from they ran out of the house, of course, and then they drove back to Miss Lorene's place, and they called from there because they were scared, no doubt. And they found them in the morning, but I think they were killed during the night at some point. We don't have a good, shall we say, a forensic, what is it called, pathologist to ascertain exactly time of death. I was hoping that you might assist us with that. And the moment we saw the scene and everything, we tried to do some work during the day, and in the evening we simply concluded that this has to go higher up, because this is out of our wheelhouse. We don't have the staff to take care of it, and so and then it's been going up the chain since then, hasn't it? So
Sure has.
so now you're here.
You folks want to take a look tonight or first thing in the morning? Crime scene's probably not going anywhere. It's been a long enough day as it is.
As much as I hate putting this off, I think it'd be a wise idea if we came out with a fresh set of eyes.
I can understand that. I'm just worried to see that. What about Davis and Miss Davis? If they've been kidnapped by these monsters, really, they must be. I'm thinking Satanism based on some of the stuff I saw in the library there. I think Mr. Davis's book interests wander into the eclectic, let me say. I'm sure he's a God-fearing man himself, you understand? I'm not trying to smear his good name, but maybe when you start reading into those kinds of things, you get in touch with the wrong people. And honestly, I haven't been able to hold Mr. Corso for anything. He has an alibi. He was with Miss Lorene, and he was possible he snuck out in the night, but I ain't got any traces like his footprints or anything at the scene, and I just don't have any evidence that I can hold him with, though I would like to. I consider him a prime suspect in all of this, you understand? The northerner coming here and then immediately a murder. Just don't know if I believe in that coincidence, if you understand.
We'll speak with Mr. Corso, but we all have to get some rest eventually. We hit it first thing in the morning, have the full day to dedicate to it.
Very well. That sounds good to me, yeah. I'm gonna go with your expertise in this matter. I sure ain't got any, he says.
You folks have done a fine enough job as it is. Appreciate the information going into it.
You will hear a knock on the wall because it's just the resting area. And you will see a fellow dressed in his bow tie, and he has a suit jacket on and jeans and boots under. And he'll touch his hat. Good evening. I hope I'm not interrupting anything. And Chief Morgan immediately stands up and says, "Oh, Mayor LaFontaine, absolutely not. Very happy to have you here, Mr. Mayor. May I introduce the Federal Bureau of Investigation that will help us in this case." The mayor will take off his hat, and he will be very gentlemanly and kiss the ladies on the hand properly and shake the gentleman's hands with a solid handshake. This man is of the greatest generation, no doubt, and might have fought in the war, for all you know. Or at least he's a boomer, maybe early boomer, possibly silent generation. Who can tell? At least he's a senior fellow with also an impressive mustache and nice white hair. I just wanted to welcome you all to Davies Landing. This is not a big community. We're tightly knit. We're all very shocked over this. You understand? We don't have murders at all in this town. We have some drunk people in the weekends. We have some tourists during tourist season who are up to no good. Every once in a while, a thief. And possibly some drugs, too. Every once in a while, at least among the poor folks. But most of us are just good, upstanding, God-fearing Christians. And murder, that doesn't happen here. That's in the big cities, as far as I'm concerned. And this kind of murder, I saw it myself. Good grief, Jesus saves us all. He's just as pale as the chief when he talks about this. They are Redmond. They are shocked to their core, both of them. Now, I will say, I hope that with your help, we'll be able to resolve this quickly, find the Davis family, and get this over and done with. Tourist season will start in a month or two. That's sufficient to get this sorted, shouldn't it?
We can only hope, Mayor, that we can solve this issue before then.
Yeah, excellent. We don't need any bad attention out here. This town here, we live on tourism. People come here to do some fishing, maybe hunt Old Bill, that sort of thing. Yeah. But yeah, we want them to come back, is what I'm saying. So, grisly murders like that, we're all very shocked, and we want this to be resolved as quickly as possible. So everything this town, and Chief Morgan here can help you out here with, we'll certainly.
We appreciate that. We hope we can find your missing folks. Gonna bring them safe too.
Very good, yes. Welcome again to Davies Landing. They told me that they're gonna put you up at the bed and breakfast, and it's an excellent place. Southern hospitality for you. And I wish you the best of luck with this investigation, and if there's anything you need, just come down right here. I'm just really down the corridor, and I have my offices here. We're just basically wall to wall here, and yeah, and take it from there. He's standing around waiting for you to tell him that you need something, but if you don't, he will just nod again.
And if we need anything, we'll let you know. We'll try to keep you and the sheriff here in the loop.
Yes, sir. Very good. Yes, sir. Ma'am?
Sheriff, do you have a couple of local maps we could use while we're here?
Of course, says Chief Morgan. Absolutely. Yeah, the mayor will retreat from this place, and you will get access to a map, won't you? It's a very dark map at the moment, because everything is dark, but it's okay. There we have it.
Oh boy.
Yeah. You have probably 2 or 3 churches, about as many residential buildings, and...
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's about it. And I've marked the Davies house on the map here.
got Dollar General.
Ignore the Dollar General.
That's
Well-
where we're gonna find the missing people.
Exactly. Yeah, probably in the Dollar General. They're hiding under the.
Yeah.
Wait, did I just reveal it? No, I didn't.
You are hiding the people under the soap, aren't you?
Clearly, you're going to be put up at a local bed and breakfast, basically, and Miss Lorene will handle that. Put you up properly. Chief Morgan introduces you. It's late, but there we are. And she will give you basically your own rooms, which is up a flight of stairs. Downstairs, you'll get the breakfast in the morning. And she has 6 rooms here, but it's basically only gonna be you. And apparently Mr. Corso has one. By about 1 a.m., you are installed in your rooms, and you will be able to finally unpack and go to bed after this very long day of traveling. And that might be the perfect place to pause the story for now. You have reached Davies Landing. You are briefed on the basic situation, and in the morning, apparently you're gonna see a grisly crime scene. They will have put the bodies of the victims in some kind of freeze facility. They have that because the fish that is brought out from the river by the tourists and by the fishers in general goes into a freezing facility here in the center of town. Yeah, they've basically been put in the fish freezing facility for now. Put on
We'll
ice,
just not tell a
literally.
tourist about that.
What was that?
We'll just not tell a tourist about that.
Probably not, no. But they have ice, and they have a freezer. It's possible to use that. Yay. Alright, with that, my friends, we will leave the agents, the special agents for this time, and in a week from now, we will reconnect with them and possibly learn something more about this case. I'm sure there won't be any more sanity checks, because this is Southern Hospitality and everybody's really right.
Totally.
And remember to sacrifice to the algorithm gods by following the channel or subscribing and ringing the bell icon and commenting for, yeah. Otherwise, Cthulhu will eat you. There we have it.
I'm a delicious snack.